Like, why are the herd and McDonald Islands, which don't export to the United States and are quite literally inhabited by penguins?
Millions of human beings screwing in little screws to make iPhones. That kind of thing is going to come to America.
Was this disruption always part of the plan, Mr. Secretary?
Let's hop into a few clips of MAGA billionaires on Face the Nation attempting to do more damage control for the Trump administration that has stumbled and failed and floundered about every step of the way. So leave us a like on this video if you can. We really appreciate that. And let's hop right into the chaos.
The army of millions and millions of human beings screwing in little screws to make iPhones. That kind of thing is going to come to America. It's going to be automated, and great Americans, the trade craft of America, is going to fix them, is going to work on them. They're going to be mechanics. There's going to be HVAC specialists. There's going to be electricians. The trade craft of America are high school educated Americans. The core to our workforce is going to have the greatest resurgence of jobs in the history of America to work on.
First off, not true. Tariffs have never proven to do this. But second, even if true, this is incredibly stupid. The idea that America should even want to lead in these nonsense micro industries, that we should even or would even want to expend our land and our labor, that is both, they're not infinite, they're finite, on things like, I don't know, screwing in little parts on iPhones, or leading in the textile industry, or, you know, the booming American banana market, rather than just importing these things for very cheap costs and focusing on labor in much more innovative, higher profiting industries, creating better pay for the workers who will be making close to minimum wage in these other micro industries. How much do you think the textile worker is getting paid compared to like the computer chip manufacturer? And, you know, better product and innovation for America overall. But instead, let's just focus on coffee and stuff.
Stand in the Rose Garden holding up that chart that you helped make. That wasn't actually tariffs. That was actually confusing to investors because it was some kind of other formula, and the countries themselves seemed kind of random. Like, why are the herd and McDonald Islands, which don't export to the United States and are quite literally inhabited by penguins, why do they face a 10% tariffs? Did you use AI to generate this?
No. The idea, look, the idea is
why are they on the list?
Left off. Because the idea, what happens is, if you leave anything off the list, the countries that try to basically arbitrage America go through those countries to us.
I'm literally starting to think that these people don't understand macroeconomics at all. There's not a single adult in the room. It just shows, right? You don't have to understand how an economy or even business should or does work just because you correctly invested a lot of money and turned it into more money. First off, how do you trade through a country with no humans? Do you hope the cast of Happy Feet is there and ready to help? Like, they just make these ridiculous claims that don't even begin to make sense. How do tariffs make us money when we're the ones who pay them? How do tariffs create jobs when they lose U.S. companies profit? How do they help anything? Why would we not just invest in industries with high scalability? Like, I don't know, electric cars? Oh yeah, because MAGA made these political, so who cares about those?
The markets lost more than $6 trillion in value. Was this disruption always part of the plan, Mr. Secretary?
Look, Chris, markets are organic, the animals, and you never know what the reaction's going to be. One thing that I can tell you as the Treasury Secretary, what I've been very impressed with is the market infrastructure, that we had record volume on Friday, and everything is working very smoothly, so the American people, they can be very take great comfort in that.
I want to ready you guys for the incredibly stupid talking points you will inevitably have to hear in these next few days as the markets bounce up and down with the volatility, and they'll go up bits as it's consistently declining, because that's what volatility in the markets do. Never let these clowns try to use a 1 day or 1 week image that shows like 70% growth and pretend, well, oh, look, the tariffs have the stock market bouncing back big, because they're just going to try to cheat the math. Like, to do the math, if you have $100 and you lose 50% of that, you now have $50. Well, just because you do something and add 70% of that $50, you've grown that $50 70%. you still only have $85 there where you started with 100. And I already know so many people will try to be sharing these things where it's clear these tariffs are just not good for anything. At least, to be fair to Trump here, they're not good for consumers, which is the middle and working class, or those retiring, which is the senior class, but only for investors. So again, this is a Trump policy that benefits the wealthy at the behest of the poor.